You have an important job today, a very important job, okay? You have to announce with authority that we're still here. The team that has won a ton of football games over the last 6, 7, 10 years, the team that comes after you, straps it up, gets after your ass for 48 minutes, that football team is here. We're back, we're here to stay, and get used to it.
In the spring season, it wasn't like we usually have. It wasn't a summer camp. It wasn't all the weight room in the off season. It was 2 weeks before the first game that we had to practice.
It was kind of a disaster, honestly.
Going out, we didn't even have a lot of people. It was very limited. We didn't have a lot of depth.
Coming out every Saturday and losing how we did, that was terrible.
I would go home and just watch film, just see what I could do to be better, and it was just so upsetting.
It was pretty frustrating because we're usually known as a really good program here, and we're usually known for making it very far and for being very good. And to go 1-4, it just didn't show who we were.
Even though we were getting killed every game, it was a time to work on our skills and just get game experience.
I was looking positively at the fact that we were returning so many younger kids.
So last year, I felt like it was more of a test. This year, we had those 5 games of experience, and then we had an off season, and we had weight room, and we had summer practices, we had our 2-week camp.
I was at St. Anthony's freshman, sophomore, and half for junior year. My first day at Mepham was actually the first official spring practice day for the 2021 season.
When I heard he was transferring back, I talked to a couple people from his grade and a couple people from my grade, and they always talked about how he was a good player, and I'd never seen him play before.
Everyone had a big question mark around my name, not knowing how good I was since I was at St. Anthony's for the first couple of years.
I've known Nick Camp for a really long time, and football has always kind of been a thing he's always loved. And when he came to the Mepham Pirates, he was kind of just giving us little glimpses of what he can do on the field.
He was a person that can run, and he looked like he could throw. So I was pretty optimistic going into this year with him as quarterback because I knew he was smart. I knew he would probably have to learn the playbook a little more because he hadn't been here the 2 years prior, so it was all fresh to him.
Coach Kracko helped me in so many different ways. He showed me ways to get better, ways to do things differently. He taught me so many things in such a short period of time.
The first couple summer practices, you just knew he was something special.
I feel like a lot of kids had a sense of comfort that we had such a good player on the team and somebody who contributed day in, day out.
Being seated 7th was really just like a slap in the face.
We all felt disrespected.
I take a lot of pride in what we were being ranked and what people think of our team.
Although we went 1-4, we still had a lot of talent coming back.
We all knew that we were better than what everybody else saw us out to be. But that only made us hungry.
I saw the drive in people that I hadn't seen before.
Mepham's weight room, I mean, you go in there, it's not the most beautiful and best looking, but the second I step foot in there, every single person that works hard, everyone's surrounding each other, screaming at each other, get one more rep.
We had a lot of passion for the game. We all wanted to win. We all knew we could win.
We were grinding, we're blazing hot.
It's long days. Not a lot of people are going to want to spend the last couple of weeks right before school getting up.
There were just so many kids eager to be on the field at all times that there was always so much competition going on.
The way that people did, and they got up and they went to practice and everybody put in the same amount of work, it just showed me that everybody was really about this and about this program, about the team.
There's just a great atmosphere to be around, and I knew throughout the summer going into the fall season that we could be something special with the attitude we're having right now.
The "Who's Got My Back, I Got Your Back" chant started week 1 against Cary. I was looking up good chants on YouTube.
Everyone was at first was like, all right, like, what are we doing? Is this serious? But you could just tell the more and more we did it, it was truly having each other's back.
No matter what went wrong, no matter what went right.
All summer, we were pushing each other, making each other better, and becoming a family.
For everybody to do that and to buy into that, I think it just showed us that our bond is that strong.
It's not just I have your back. It's I have your back and I will always have your back. And I feel like that's what Mepham football taught us as a group.
Probably 4 weeks prior, I was really anxious to play Cary again because of what they did to us last year.
It really sucks just to lose on your home field, but for them to come over here and just run all over us.
Cary was 3rd seed. We were huge underdogs. Cary had a packed house. Everyone was there. Stands overflowed, thinking that they were going to blow us out. We came into that game knowing that we could win, knowing we were way better than being ranked the 7th seed, knowing that we could do a lot better than everyone thought we could do.
Reestablishing this program was a big goal this year.
Last year, it wasn't really a sign of who we were. It wasn't a sign of how we were playing. It wasn't a sign of our program.
So after that spring season, we were treated like a losing program. And we really needed to turn that around with our toughness.
If we won this game, it would be a big statement game for us, and it would be something that would show everybody else who we really were. We made plays, we showed our toughness, we showed our physicality.
We pounded the ball and they could not stop us. Our linemen were driving them 10, 15 yards down the field.
It definitely showed me what the main goal of all of our games were. It was to finish. To finish, you need to keep your foot on the gas at all times until the clock hits 0.
Pulling out that win was one of the most important things the whole season. Being able to show people we can play and that Mepham's back and we're not going to go away.
You win one game, you don't get a trophy. You need to prove yourself every single week.
We knew that this week couldn't let get to our head. It was fun while it lasted. It was fun during the moment.
If we continue to work hard as we already were, we pushed ourselves harder every day in practice, that there is a lot of room for improvement. And if we can beat a team like Cary, then we can beat anyone.
put up a lot of points on them in the first half.
What was more important was getting those players that also worked hard in, and also getting Sophia Lespina the ball a few times.
She got put in the game in the beginning of the third quarter. She made a couple of actually really good catches.
We're down at the 4-yard line, and Peter Mayo gets the call from Krakow, and Sophia was playing slot receiver. You see Peter roll out left. Sophia ran an out route, and she caught that ball. I've never heard the team go that crazy over anything.
We all ran over to her. We all high-fiving her.
When Krakow came back to the huddle after the game, the ref had given him the ball, and he was like, I think you might want this.
Sure enough, she was the first woman in Long Island history to score a touchdown in a high school football game.
The whole team just came together as one and just congratulated her.
It brought a lot of attention to Mepham football.
There was Newsday showing up to our practices, interviewing her. She was on Sunday Night Football, and she was on the news.
Most girls, I don't think they would feel accepted on a football team with a bunch of guys. But Sophia, she didn't care. We treated her not any different than anybody else.
If you have the courage to put on pads and show up to practice, someone's going to respect you.
We just think of it as just playing football, a sport we all love.
It's bigger than just her scoring a touchdown. She's going to encourage a generation of girls to play football for years to come. When girls see that video, they're going to use that as sort of an inspiration to play. Sort of, if she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, anything is possible.
Classrooms and other areas throughout.
Last year, we didn't get to have a homecoming. So I knew this year was going to be special. I knew a lot of people were going to be at it. I knew the whole town was going to be there.
It was definitely nice to have people back in the stands, since in the spring we couldn't have really anyone besides 2 people.
Students of all ages, all grades, everyone just comes together as one and just celebrate us, celebrate our school as a whole.
When I hear that Glen Cove has lost 19 in a row, it definitely stands out, but like we always said, we can't underestimate anyone.
They were physical, they were big, and I was telling our team that they're a good football team. So we have to either work hard or we're gonna lose.
Just because a team has lost 19 in a row doesn't mean that they're gonna lose 20 in a row. You have to keep motivating yourself with that and pushing that, because you want to be that team that extends that.
Starting off 3-0 is great. We were all excited. We were all believing in ourselves. And then you hear that we're playing MacArthur.
It was a big game. It was a hype game.
We haven't beat MacArthur in 3 years.
Last year, they ran all over us.
So this season's main priority on defense was to stop the run because the spring defense, we got gashed.
We knew that we had more than enough potential to beat them. We had the size, we had the physicality, we had the confidence.
We couldn't make any mistakes. We couldn't do anything that would hurt ourselves, because if we did, then we would definitely lose that game.
We really wanted to show people that we weren't just a fluke and we had a good game against Cary. We beat 2 okay teams.
MacArthur came to our home field and they physically outplayed us. They beat us in every aspect of the game.
We got blown out at home. We got embarrassed.
We had linemen pushing our D linemen 30 yards down the field.
Being a defensive player, that's probably the worst thing to have done to you guys, is being gashed in the run, because it's just being physically beat.
It was probably my worst game the whole year. I had 5 interceptions. I had a fumble, turned the ball over 6 times. It was definitely hard at first, knowing that I had a lot of confidence going into that game and then leaving that game with not as much confidence as I had. I had to fight through that and tell myself that everyone has bad days, everyone's gonna have a bad game.
To a certain extent, we kind of went in a little overconfident.
We let 3-0 get to our heads.
It was definitely a wake-up call. We needed to get better in every aspect. I mean, every aspect. Our offense really couldn't move that ball the first whole half. We only scored at the very end of that half to make it 6-6.
Right before the half, they returned to kick for a touchdown. And usually, like our coaches say, that's the biggest way for a team to lose morale.
I don't know what was wrong with the team, but we were all everybody was just sluggish.
Going into that game, I knew we were flat. We had a big loss against MacArthur. We really weren't that high tempo all week in practice.
We were flat all week, and I could have guessed this shit was gonna happen. Could have guessed.
For Hunter Camp to go out like that, to try and get it into our heads that we need to wake up, it showed me a lot, because it was almost like we were sleeping and that we wouldn't connect anything. So we knew that going out into the second half, we had to start making plays, or else we were going to go home being 3-2.
I saw a lot of resiliency with the team after that kick return touchdown. It's always tough to come out after half when they have the momentum.
The energy was great. I mean, down 12-6, it's hard. It's hard going into the second half, having no idea what to do offensively because nothing's working. But our offense scored almost every single drive. Our defense made stops, our defense made turnovers.
I thought that would be a big momentum gainer. It was something that we could bring over into practice.
Going into week 6, going into that Garden City game, I sprained my ankle. Barely even being able to put any pressure on my ankle sucked. I mean, I was excited for this game. It was the biggest game that we could have showed that we could compete with a team like Garden City. I could just tell that the second everyone kind of got the idea that I really wasn't going to play this game, everyone was just like, shoot, like, what are we going to do?
It's like we gave up. We got it handed to us on our home field, 49-0. It was not a good feeling at all.
We were not as bad as we performed, even without me playing, even without our starting quarterback.
The 2 home games that we have played versus really good teams, we lost both, letting up 90 points combined.
It was definitely important to have a short memory on things. We needed to push forward with the game of New Hyde Park coming up.
With being 4-2, with how the seeding was working, if we wanted a home playoff game, this was going to be the most important game of our season.
We got whooped by them last year.
And going into there, for it being their homecoming, it just amped up everybody even more.
All of us took that as disrespect.
Everyone wanted just to play on that Monday. I mean, we were just like, let's just go now.
They probably didn't think much of us this year, so they probably thought that it was going to be the same result.
It was a big question mark on if I was playing. I was really trying to push myself to play, pushing through the pain. And by Friday, I told everyone, yeah, I'm going to play. I'm going to do what I can do. I don't know how long I'll be able to play, how much I can do, how much running I can do.
I knew that he would fight for us just as much as we would fight for him. So I wasn't too worried about it.
All week in practice, every player just put their shoulder pads down and were hitting like an M. And I know that everybody had a purpose that week, and the purpose was being New Hyde Park.
Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. They stopped them on every single drive. They had one big play break loose. Cooch chased that guy down and knocked it out of his hand. We got that ball back.
Every game, Moody has been saying how he wants a shutout, how he wants a defensive touchdown. That game, we accomplished all those things.
Blowing them out, them not even coming close to us, really showed us how good we could be.
We actually broke it on Happy Homecoming on their field, which was awesome. Krakow wasn't too happy about that, obviously, but
The senior players and families have made outstanding contributions to the Mepham football family and the school community. Today we honor them for their dedication, leadership, outstanding Mepham Pirate careers. The following seniors will forever be Mepham Pirates. Please join me in welcoming the seniors and their families.
My dad and my mom came to literally almost every single one of my games. My dad was my coach for Braves, so it was really, really nice having everyone watch me and my parents walk out together.
I would always come to the Mepham games, and I would see all the seniors walking out, and I would just think to myself, that sucks for them, but it's never going to be me. And eventually the time came. It's a good feeling and it's a bad feeling because, you know, all eyes are on you. You're walking out of that field with your parents. You're getting recognized. But then you realize that the end is near.
Going 6-2, it really showed our toughness and it really showed how we had worked in the offseason.
Doing so poorly in the spring season lit a fire under us.
It kind of demonstrated that we're a team that we weren't willing to take a beating.
Proving everyone wrong is the best feeling you could have. I mean, being the 7th seed really pissed me off, but you could tell that it pissed off the whole team. Nobody thought we were going to be put as a 7th seed, and we were. Nobody thought we were going to make it up to the 3rd seed, and we did.
Friday before the first playoff game, we always do a bonfire where the seniors create a little speech for everybody else.
The seniors get to talk about their experience with Mepham, their experience with football.
And then Krakow, at the end of it, he told us a story. And the main gist of it was, if you want to do something, you have to do it yourself. You have to go get it. The message was burn the boats. And that means if you want to go into somebody's territory or somebody wants to come into your territory, you leave your stuff behind, and if you go home with their stuff.
Everyone kind of really took that under their wing. The second Coach Krakow said that, everyone was saying it. It was around everywhere. Pretty much was said 100 times a day since. We wanted to burn the boats. We wanted to keep pushing forward no matter what it took.
We knew that going into this game, Valley Stream had some really good players and that they were a really good team, that they can't be overlooked. Even if we are the 3 seed, doesn't matter.
We had a goal and how we needed to be brutal. We needed to do the most in order to get to where we wanted to be.
Upsets happen all the time in the playoffs, and it was something that we knew that if we prepped how we have all season and we played how we could the last couple weeks, we would be in a good spot. Going into the game, we were all saying how if we just played our hardest, we would be out of there in 24 minutes.
Our defense really stood out. They held them to very little points. And our offense, when they got the ball, we scored. We played a complete football game in every aspect. Special teams did great.
It was a really good feeling because it was something that we knew that this is what the program's known for, and this is how Mepham should be known as a team.
Making it to Hofstra was the goal. And then from that goal, you expand to a new goal.
We're not just going to have fun. We're going to win.
7th seed doesn't make it to Hofstra. 3rd seed can make it to Hofstra. We were the 7th seed that pushed to be that 3rd seed. We fought for that 3rd seed and we deserved that Hofstra run.
Something that we should be doing every year here. That's the type of program we are.
This isn't just a regular game. This is a Hofstra game. This is semifinals, playoffs.
When we went there, we had to play the best football we had. We had to leave everything out on the field.
MacArthur didn't see what we saw in how we could really play against them.
There was good moments.
We came out, we started really strong on our first drive.
But way more bad moments than good moments.
We went out to eat together. We did everything together for that whole week because we knew that if we wanted to win, we would have to come together and be stronger than we have.
We were a completely different team than Week 14. We really found a home for everyone at that point, and we were really on a roll. We were much more connected, bonded than we were that 4th week. We were way more on the same page. We were just ready to go.
I got your back! I got your back! Who's got my back? I got your back! Let's go! We got British! Let's go!
fight I saw from everybody was more than I've ever seen from the team before.
We had all guys on board, and I mean all the guys. We had the sideline going crazy. We had the stands going crazy, and on the field, everybody was doing their job.
We stopped their offense. Great. We had 14 rushing yards around there for their running back.
We had the ball first and goal at the 9-yard line, and we couldn't run the ball into the end zone.
We knew that if we got that touchdown, that we could potentially steal the game.
So then they get the ball on the 5, and they start driving a little bit, and we start letting them get to us.
I was walking off the field and I took a real long look at the scoreboard and I said, man, we really did it. We got this. And I lifted up Devin and I brought him over to the crowd. Everybody was high-fiving him and I let him down. I was walking back and I just hear the crowd go silent.
Me and my running back Ryan, we had a miscommunication. I went to pull it and it got caught a little bit and it flew out and I dove on that ball half a second too late.
And that was crushing. That was terrible for the team.
And then there was the biggest third down of the game. I dove, I hit the ball, but I didn't hit it enough and the kid caught it. It was a big first down and it led to them scoring. On the final kickoff of the game, we tried our trick play that we've been saving up, and Dylan was millimeters away from breaking it free.
Being down 21-18, we needed at least a field goal. We only attempted one field goal that whole year, and that was during that game, and we missed it.
We started off with a couple big plays.
I went to that sideline and I kind of just was in shock, like, this is it, done.
For all the amount of work that we put in from the summer up all the way until that game, it was devastating because you didn't want to be that team that went out on mistakes. You didn't get beat by them, you beat yourself.
Knowing that my football career was over, that was really crushing. And just the fact that I wasn't going to be able to play with those guys ever again, wasn't going to be able to put on pads and a helmet after that night, it really killed me. I wore my pads all the way home, didn't take them off, slept in my football pants.
First person that came up to me was Brendan. It all hit me in that moment, and I started looking at the scoreboard and I couldn't look away from it because I knew that I couldn't change it, but it was too hard to look away.
When I was little, I never thought about going to St. Anthony. So when I was growing up, I was like, oh, I want to be the Mepham quarterback. And I want to win a championship there. Like, that was my dream. Looking up to Mepham high school football players, it was sick. So being able to have that opportunity in that moment was just once in a lifetime.
Day by day, it kind of got easier, but it doesn't mean that we stopped thinking about it because I sure think about football every day. Being a Mepham Pirate, it meant a lot more than just putting on a pair of shoulder pads, a girdle, and pants, cleats. I showed out every week on the field, and I gave my heart. I gave my teammates what they deserved and what the team deserved.
It helped me grow in so many different ways, on the field, outside the field. I mean, stronger friendships, more friendships, new friendships, amazing memories.
It shows you how important what you do is, how you want to be remembered as a person, as a player, as an athlete, as a student. You need to be focused in whatever you do and try your best in everything.
I was very, very proud of how we came out and we played from what we did last year, and being picked the 7th seed, people not thinking that we were going to be a team that went very far.
We were all so committed and so passionate about the game, and we all put the practice every day with purpose, and that's what made it so much fun.
We had the tightest bond I think any Mepham football team has ever had.
During the 2-week camp that we had in the summer, every day after we would always go out, and it was those types of things that made the season even more memorable.
We were just more than a team, and we were friends and family.
We were always making jokes about each other, and the bus rides, oh, those were the best.
We were definitely a team full of goofballs, I would say.
No.